As twilight fell across the field, the reflection found another demon. This one was clad in blue armor and bore a mask across its face. Its mysterious appearance unsettled the reflection, but he knew he must press onward. Once he got close to the demon, it brandished its thin blade at the reflection's throat. "Go no further. There is nothing for you here, reflection," it calmly stated from behind its mask. "But I wish to keep going to see for myself," replied the reflection. "Then you must get past me," it responded, then struck with blinding speed. The reflection barely dodged out of the way, letting his bone giant take the hit. The colossal creature shuddered at the thrust and fell into pieces on the ground. Thinking quickly, the reflection took the demon wings he gathered and used them to fly high into the sky. The demon leapt after him, grabbing a hold of the reflection's foot. But the reflection had planned on this, and suddenly swooped down, smashing the demon into the ground. The reflection rejoiced at a hard-earned victory, only to silence himself when the demon stood back up. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Spooktacular 2021. I am your host, Rodimus13, and today we are looking at the HG Iron Blooded Orphans Gundam Vidar. We are continuing our look at these demonic-themed Gundams. But before we take a look at the actual figure, let's take a look at the packaging. So, we have the HG Iron Blooded Orphans logo up here, as well as the English Iron Blooded Orphans logo. We have Gundam Vidar in Japanese and English, blue Bandai logo, and a nice illustration of the Gundam Vidar thrusting with its rapier weapon as things explode behind it. On this side we have lovely painted photographs of the kit showing off the various things that it can do. On this side we have the same illustration as the front. On this side we have callouts for customization kits that you can get, as well as the usual warning information and the lopsided barcode. Then this side has the usual Bluefin sticker. Actually no, this is the new one that has Bluefin and Bandai Namco on it. Interesting. And that is enough of the box. Let's get rid of this thing and take a look at the actual kit. So, like the Marcosius before it, Rodimus13 graciously decided to build and paint this kit for me. So, he decided to add bits of weathering as well as adding in the red on some of the thrusters. He didn't want to use most of the sticker set, and I can't say I blame him. This is troublesome, particularly these ones which require folding over parts. It is not good, which is something to keep in mind if you plan on building this kit. A closer look at the weathering that Rodimus13 did. As you can see, he mostly did silver paint chipping on this one. Since this suit mainly saw action in space, he felt weathering with dirt and grime would be inappropriate. He also painted many spots black that were supposed to be black, and as we mentioned before, the red inside these thrusters was painted as well. He did use some stickers, these silver ones, the red here, and the tiny red ones here. But everything else is paint. And he did a passable job, I suppose. And everything is topped off with a nice flat top coat. Now, the actual figure itself is built on the same Gundam frame as the Marcosius that we saw earlier. But unlike the Marcosius, this one does not have large things hanging off of it that weigh it down and inflict problems all over the frame. The largest things we have on it are perhaps these little thruster wings and these large side skirt armor pieces. And while those do hinder the posability, it is not as severe or debilitating as it was on the Marcosius. Speaking of which, we do have the standard HG fare of Articulation. Butterfly joint that goes up, ball socket joint that allows for rotation, as well as some movement this way, and bicep swivel. This is interfering with things on the side and here, but that's alright. A single jointed elbow, ball socket, hand. Skirt armor can move up, though it scrapes a little bit, and you can kick up and bend the knee with a double jointed knee, though the way the armor is shaped, you basically only get 90 degrees from it. You do have an impressive range of articulation in the ankle, thanks to combination of ball socket and other hinges. And you do have some weapon modes here, which we will get into in just a moment. So yes, posability is not that bad. You just have to work around things a little bit. But it is still very impressive. But for now, let's talk accessories and gimmicks. So the primary accessories that we see here are, he has his large rifle, which can simply just slide into his hand. It is nice that there are storage points on both sides of the armor for that. You can also pull this hilt out and attach a blade like so, and just slide it into his hand. Something that I do like is that the hand is angled for fencing poses. You actually have one for each side. He also has a pair of pistols. What's somewhat aggravating about these, despite the fact they are very nice, lovely looking implements of death, is you can see they are supposed to be able to be stored in the skirt armor. They are not. These are just molded in, which means that if you want it to be accurate and you pose one of these, you'll have to permanently alter the armor like that. I don't care for that much. I feel like they should have tried something. They designed this thing for the show. They should have known what their limitations were when they implemented the design for a kit. Now you can put the hilt on any of these points here. And he does have some blades that can come out of his foot, which is a fun little thing to have, I suppose. Overall, I'd say I could give this kit a recommendation. It is a fine kit, an enjoyable one. Dare I say, perhaps better than the Marcosius that we looked at earlier. It doesn't have all the armor hanging off of it that makes posing and positioning cumbersome and just not enjoyable. And it has a very interesting weapon loadout. It doesn't have so many swords that I don't know what to do with them, but the combination of the rifle and the rapier is quite nice. And I suppose the dry brushing and weathering techniques that Rodimus 13 put on this adds something to the kit. Perhaps. Maybe I'll give him a thank you later. Anyway, so yes, I could give this kit a recommendation. I command you to take a look at it if you dare. Well, that is enough for this review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all those fun YouTube manipulations. Don't forget to check the description below for links to the storefront where you can get official shelf space t-shirts and more. And yes, thank you again, and I'll see all of you the next time you invade my shelf space.